This interview was made possible as a podcast on the VBShow by service specialist Linda Chris. Why is it important to plan ahead? Planning ahead can make all the difference for you and your loved ones. The power of pre-planning at Restland Memorial Park. We have a plan you can believe in and a plan that you can trust. It's not easy to talk about your end-of-life wishes before you have to, but it's one of the most important conversations you'll ever have with your loved ones. Call about our comfort care services to get started at no cost and meet with service specialist Linda Chris, 214-271-6077, 214-271-6077. KKVI-FM Radio nor the VBShow are affiliated with Restland Memorial Park or Linda Chris.
Okay.
Today, we're back to business, and I get to talk to Lori Huff. She's a licensed minister. She's the CEO of the nonprofit Outreach Ministries Incorporated for youth teen counselors, and she's a full-time executive, I heard, so she's quite a woman. Lori Huff, welcome to the Valder Beebe Show.
Good morning, Valder Beebe.
Well, you do some important work in your job, it seems, in your personal life and in your ministerial life. Tell me about, can I ask you a little bit about today's youth? Give me some ideas of what's going on.
Challenges with today's youth, and so we are trying to address those. Right now, we have homicide as one of the leading causes of death in our young people, and a lot of that is coming from our young people. So we are trying to really help them get more connected to the community. We feel like they're kind of a little withdrawn, and so we're trying to bring it back to it takes a village to raise a family and to raise our young people, and going from that aspect. In the Bible about bullying, about gangs, if you look at the beginning of Proverbs, it talks about gangs. It talks about being aware of people who just put all their money in one pocket and kind of, join together and pull away from the families. So there are definite scriptures and references to things in the Bible, and we can do a better job, because what happens is when our teens go away to college or go away, they very rarely come back. And I think we have to do a better job of connecting them to the Word and what can help save their life.
It's really, really hard in what you're telling. My kids are adults now. As you know, each generation has its own challenges, and it's always different. And we usually say the current generation you're in, things are the worst. But there's so many things to make this worse. There's technology where kids can have secret lives. That was not a challenge for me as a parent. All we had was a VCR and tried to monitor that, so we had less enforcement in some areas. But here we have a lot of problems. We have a lot of what I call emotions. Kids, they say, are angry. They have conflict. They have self-esteem issues. How are parents teaching them about that? But let me add this, because the parents are like that. Many parents are like that.
You bring up a good point, and we actually were just talking about this last night. I was sitting with a parent who has someone recently became a teen, and it was like, okay, prior to this, it was kind of like stayed home with the family and this type of thing, and now you have Instagram, and you have Twitter, and you have Snapchat, and so how do you stay on top of that? And my answer was, it's just very important to give your young person the right tools. And so when you mention, conflict and anger and self-esteem, we actually are having the young people create an app called Case. And so it's going to be called State Your Case, because as you mentioned, sometimes parents have the same challenges. So this will ask a few questions and will help self-identify, do I have an issue in one of these areas? And it will geocode to a youth organization that can help them. So one of the things we're doing, the single most powerful force that can change our youth is our parents. And so we are empowering our parents. We're actually starting today with a parent challenge. You have the water challenge, the ice bucket challenge. Our parent challenge is going to be during National Youth Week, which is coming up in June. We are challenging parents to host an innovation lab, which is, so we were talking about technology, right? We used to say, money is not bad or good, it's whose hands it's in and what you do with it, and that's how we feel about technology. Technology is not good or bad, it's whose hands it's in. And so we want young people to think about solutions for social problems with technology, not just be on their phone and be buried into it, but actually use it for good.
I like that. This is an app, so it's self-guided pretty much. What kind of support is there for the young people if their questions go beyond the app? Is there something, some person they can touch base with? Let me say this. You know, being a parent is so hard because most times, and maybe this is just my experience, you are growing up with the kids. You have these multiple lives going on. And what I mean, you're probably a wife, you're the parent, you're a worker, you're a housekeeper. You got all these things going on. And sometimes we don't master them all. So it's a very hard job.
We're actually putting together toolkits that you can go onto the website, which is just www.nywusa.com, so National Youth Week USA.com, and we are stepping parents through exactly how to do an innovation lab. We also are focused on achievement because we sometimes our kids see us and the achievements that we've made, and they're like, I can never do that, right? And so our focus is that small steps lead to great achievements. The fact that some child gets up, gets to school where mom might be working, mom might have checked out, dad might not be around, and they get themselves up and bring themselves to school, that's an achievement, and it's to be celebrated. So kind of giving some toolkits, giving some advice. We also have where you can contact us and you can speak to, a therapist, a minister, a professional that can kind of walk you through some of the issues or challenges that you're having. I raised probably 15 to 20 kids over the course of 15 years and got them at the teenage stage, so didn't even have anything that led up to that, and kind of have some tips. I also have a book called Teen Code that kind of just gives young people some tips just about some moral things, anger, friends, different things to look for, and it's in bite-sized tweets, if you will, so it helps them, but it also helps the parents because it bridges that gap. Sometimes, we could be great people, but as parents, we need some help. And so this bridges that gap and starts the talking point.
I want to thank you so very much for what you do, how you do it, and who you are. Where can my audience find out more information on the web so that they can be connected, so that they can be powerful?
Sure. So we have a website, which is www.nywusa.com. We have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, and we have Facebook. And they're all NYWUSA. So if you need help, all you have to remember is NYWUSA, and we will be there.